What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the J2C channel. First of all, before I start anything, I want to tell you guys thank you for helping me reach that first mark, my first goal to reach 100 subscribers. We blew that goal out of the water in just a couple of days, where I'm up to 122 subscribers, and I can't thank you guys enough for all the support you guys are showing. My next goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers, and when I reach 1,000 subscribers, I will be doing a crypto giveaway. I'll give more details as we get closer to that. I just think that's the perfect number for me to start saying a little bit more thank you to my community for the following, for the continued support. I couldn't have done it without everybody here subscribing to my channel, showing love, showing support, and really confirming that what I'm providing to you is actually helpful. So today's going to be a little bit of an interesting video, but before I do, I just want you to know that this is not financial support. I will not tell you to buy, sell, or hold. You must do your own research. You must understand what you're investing in, and you must make your own decisions on whether to buy, sell, or hold. I will not tell you how much to buy. I will not tell you to buy or sell right now. I'm just giving you the details, and you have to make your own informed decision. So to start, let's talk about a potential scam on Stellar. Which is, I talked about it in one of my previous videos, and I'm not a fan of it because what Aqua provides doesn't really make sense. I mean, you're providing some kind of governance to a decentralized token, XLM. Pretty much you buy Aqua and you have to pay to vote on where the liquidity goes, and that doesn't make sense to me because as an investor, I decide where that liquidity goes. I decide where I want to put my money, where I think I'm going to get the biggest return. I don't need to pay to have somebody tell me where to put it. And that's why this token really doesn't make much sense. And there's a lot of FUD around it. And, I would just be extra cautious on it. Because just because they're throwing the Stellar name around doesn't mean that this is Stellar related. And so just be very cautious with this coin. It has high potential to lose its value because once the airdrop stopped, nothing else behind it other than paying to vote where you want to put your money. So it doesn't really make sense. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the XRP news, just giving you some brief details. There's really not a whole lot to talk about. They were supposed to have their hearing on the 14th, but they actually postponed it because of the Omicron variant. They wanted to push it off for about a month or two. And according to the judge, this should not impact the timeline of when this lawsuit's going to finish. I'm not so sure. But pretty much what's going on is XRP is stating that if they're considered a security, why is Ethereum not considered? They're the same way. They had the same ICO. And so why are they coming after XRP when they should be going after the, Ethereum? Now, they're not trying to bring anybody else under, but they have a valid point. Why is Ethereum being targeted? Why is XRP being targeted and not Ethereum? Now, going after Ethereum and going after Bitcoin isn't going to help anybody. It's going to harm everybody. And so I think that they have a strong case on their back, but also they're basing it off an email on somebody, which the judge considers it to be more of an opinion. So I don't know how strong this is going to hold up in court. Maybe it not be sufficient evidence, but we'll see what happens. So far, I've seen dates being thrown around of when this case is going to end. We were expecting some good news on the 14th, but of course, the new variant really threw a wrench in the cogs, so it really stopped everything for now. The judge still doesn't think that's going to throw off the timeline because they have to complete their full investigation. But, I still see Ethereum coming out on, XRP coming out on top. And so right now they're currently the rank 8. And with this recent news, they actually went up a little bit. So when you look at the 7-day chart, they're up quite, not too much, but they're up there. It's showing a little bit increase in price. So that's kind of good. It shows that people really are confident. There is an XRP army out there who are very pro XRP. So as of right now, just hang tight. There's not really much to talk about. There are a lot of details coming out about it, but none that really matter. As of right now, things got postponed by a month or two. So as we get closer to that timeline, I'll release more details. All right. So I also want to see what's going on with Stellar. People say, why is it falling apart? Why is it coming down? When you zoom out to the all time, you really see that we're really not in a bad position. I mean, look at this area down here. It was below where we are now, far below. So I think this is very bullish. We're still stuck in between that range between like 22 and 30. We need to break above the 30 and we need to hold it there for us to see some more momentum. Now, we did fall to rank 30. So XLM fell back a few ranks, but again, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that Stellar is dead, that the bullish momentum is dead. No, this just means that not as many people have invested in this, and I think a lot of that has to do with what we talked about, that they're not really using their marketing budget. They're doing all these connections, doing all these things behind the scenes, and they're going to catch a lot of people by surprise. This is going to easily jump from 30 to possibly the top 10. And it's going to happen in an instant. It's going to take one catalyst. It's going to take one piece of news to really bring these guys up from where they are now. So with that, I'm going to go to the next section, which I really want to be as engaging as I can with my community. So as I'm seeing questions in there, just note that I may not immediately respond, but I'll try to get to it as best as I can. And I have 3 questions here that have come up a few times. And one of them is, when will Studentcoin go to the moon? And when will any coin go to the moon is the real question, because this is impossible to tell, right? Whether a coin goes to the moon does not depend on the news. It depends on the investor's willingness to invest in a coin. So when you have a lot of hype, when you have a lot of investors that think that something is potentially going to shoot up, they start investing, and that's what drives the price up. So it's impossible for us to really say where a coin is going to be in the short term, but it's, we can base it off a rumor. You buy the rumor if you believe it's going to go up, and then you sell it once the price action happens for a little bit of a profit. So it's really hard for anybody to say. We can all speculate, right? I expected Studentcoin to do a lot more than it did when it first released its platform, but they still have a lot of work to do. They still have to make it easier. Ethereum is holding everybody back with their gas fees, and we're not sure when they're going to start releasing their next update that will reduce the gas fees. But I believe that's what's really holding a lot of people back. Also, I got the next question is, oh, no, I'm sorry. Before I go to the next question, let me just look at the price chart for Studentcoin. And I have to go to Coinbase because Studentcoin is currently working on providing all the details to be listed on CoinGecko. They failed to deliver some piece of information, or there was something going on where they got temporarily delisted while they gather all their documentations and go through their audit. So they're currently in the process of an audit. Once that audit is complete, that's going to add a lot of confidence to the Studentcoin, and they're going to be able to begin listing in multiple exchanges. So that's when I believe that we're going to start to see some price action. And when we look at this at the week level, we're up about 7.6%. When a lot of the coins were down, this one is still going up. Now at a month, we're still down 15.5%, but that's really nothing, right? That's just typical volatility, and this could shoot up, but I would expect that Studentcoin needs to release some of their updates, go through their audits, get listed on more exchanges before we actually see this start to go up to the moon. And I also believe that Studentcoin needs to work on getting legalized in the United States. That will certainly bring a big market and confidence to them that can certainly, you could see a big price action with them. All right. Other than that, just general Bitcoin and Ethereum, what are the other top 10 coins doing? They're a little bit in the red, nothing major, but on a 7-day, just about everything is up overall. So things are looking pretty good, pretty bullish. Of course, things can change in a heartbeat. Things go up, things go down. It's really difficult to predict. But I think this is kind of like in the middle point between the end of the Bitcoin dominance to the beginning of the altcoin season, where people start to hop off of Bitcoin and they start to put their money in other altcoins that they think are gonna shoot up, right? So I wouldn't be too concerned. Also be cautious with a lot of news out there. There's a lot of negative news. They might even throw some negative news at XLM, Stellar. They say, oh, what's going on with Stellar? It's the price is collapsing. It's starting to fail. Not the case at all. It's just the typical volatility. It's actually good. You have to be very cautious when you read these things and understand and identify bias, because there are a lot of people out there that write articles based on their own personal bias. If you do not like a cryptocurrency, you will write negative stuff about it, even if it's doing good. So again, just be very cautious when you read these things, because they have the potential to steer people away. All right. So one of the other questions that I received, and I forget the name of the user, but how much XLM should I hold? Well, how much something you should hold is a decision that you have to make on your own, right? And I say this often in my own videos. I will not tell you to buy, sell, or hold. You must do your own research, and you must never invest in something that you don't believe in. If you do not know how much XLM to hold, I believe that you need to do some research on the company, on XLM, have an idea of how much you're willing to lose, right? Because everything you invest has a potential to be lost. And the only real way right now to lose money is if you buy a coin, it starts to go down and you sell, right? Now, I've always stated in my videos, if XLM is on the up and up and up and up and it's green, personally, I would wait, because if you buy when you're seeing something shoot up to the top, that's called FOMO, fear of missing out, and you have the potential to be buying at the top as it's about to break back down to the negative. So how much do I invest? Well, it's what I can afford, right? If I have a spare 100, 200 bucks left somewhere, and if it's gone, it's gone. That's how much I invest. I'm not going to go out and take out a loan against my mortgage. I'm not going to take out a loan in general, where that $1,000 that I'm going to get to invest somewhere has some kind of interest charges around it. It's not a good idea. So I always say invest what you can. Invest what you're willing to lose, and that is my suggestion for that. Now, is it the right time to invest in XLM? Was another question I received from my community. I personally think, and I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold, but me personally, yes. Why? Because when we look at the price action for XLM, it is still really low. So a coin that has so much usability, has so much potential. It's a great utility token, and it's something that the governments are adopting and working with. To get it for 20 cents when it has a potential to go up into the dollars, yes, I think it's, even if we're stuck in this little price action, even if it dips back down another 10 cents, I still think it's a great investment. And again, this is just my personal opinion. You guys must do your own research, and if you believe in Stellar, that's when you invest. Whatever coin you believe in. And sometimes it's good for you guys to diversify. So make sure you have a select list of coins that you want to invest. Your profits may be bigger if you say invest in 5 coins versus 30, 40 different tokens. They're not all going to be winners, right? There's a potential for losses. And one of the things I like to go by, a rule of thumb, is normally I recommend doing the top 100 tokens, because those are the more likely ones to be successful and stick around, right? Especially in the top 10, top 15, top 20, that's a safe bet. But if in a certain cases, I did a lot of research around Studentcoin, so it's real difficult to understand what position Studentcoin is in, especially since they're not fully listed everywhere. It's really hard, like CoinGecko. You're not going to see them in the top 100 or top 1,000 because they're not listed yet. They're still going through their audit. So that's a high risk that I took, but that's something that people need to consider when doing their investments. Always do your research and due diligence. All right, guys, that's enough for today's video. I do have to drive out to the airport today. It's been a long day. So I just wanted to give you a brief overall update on what's going on. I wanted to thank you guys again for subscribing and bringing up my channel. Once I get to the 1,000 subscriber mark, I will be doing a giveaway.
an appreciation for everybody. This way I have a good amount of followers and people have a better chance of getting some prizes and some, me giving back to my community. But if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to these videos, and I'll see you guys on the next one.